Welcome back to For the Record. I'm Hope.
I'm Duane.
And we have another great topic for you today, full of information and things that you can take as we have on the topic of setting the right and having the right mindset as a business owner, right? We take a lot of time reading articles, watching videos on different topics, so we know what to bring. And we're doing this research not just for you all, but for ourselves. You know, we implement these things in our life. So what are we talking about today, my love?
Well, we're talking about the winning mindset for business. And we have to be of the right mindset to be a business owner. Because you started your business from an idea.
Right.
And you took it and you built it and now you're running it, right?
Correct.
Which comes with a lot of stressors.
A lot.
You know what I'm saying? A lot
of stressors.
Yeah, because I always see this. It's a meme I see online that says, I quit my 9 to 5, that 8-hour job, to work 12 a.m. to 12 a.m.
Yes, 24 hours.
24 hours. But yeah, there's a lot of stresses, and your mindset has a big significance on how you run your business and even how you feel.
Right. And it's important to have the right mindset when you're talking about a business, because it's the connection between you thriving,
right,
just getting by, or even closing, you know. So if you don't have that right mindset, those three things can and will happen. I like the part when we were doing the research, we said, let's start with what everybody talks about, setting clear goals.
Yes.
You have to have goals. If you do not have goals, you're like a captain on a boat in the middle of the sea with nowhere to go, because you have all of this water, but you do not have a direction.
Yeah, that's important, because sometimes we go 2 or 3 days doing good, right? And then you get kind of overwhelmed maybe on the second day. And the third day, you just out floating in. It's like you said, like a boat. You're out floating in the water because you didn't set a clear goal. You saw something that probably motivated you.
Yep.
You got up and did it, but your goals were not clear.
So you have to set goals 1 year, 3 year, 5 year. I mean, that's what most people say, but you can have short-term goals as well. But it's very important to set goals so you know where your business is heading, whether you know you're going to scale it, do you want to sell it. So there's many ways to look at setting proper goals. 1 goal, 3 goals, 5 goals, 1 year, 3 year, right?
Yeah.
And short and long term as well.
So a few examples of some goals that I set on a weekly basis. Of course, make sure we're consistent with the podcast.
Right.
You know, so that means uploading on the days we say we are releasing.
Which is challenging. Setting a goal can be challenging.
It can be, because we have all week to record, but sometimes we wait till the day before.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about it. You know, the goal is there. As long as we get the episode out.
Right.
But that's not always good, because you got to make sure the content is good too. So you don't want to just throw something together. Right,
which we never do.
No.
But we're talking about the recording aspect of it. And when you're talking about setting goals, for me, I set my weekly goals of making sure every other day I am having my content in place for the different social media, right? That I'm making calls to get people interested in our product. That also I'm working out. You know, I'm exercising now, and I hadn't been in a very long time, but to balance the stress of setting goals when you're running a business, I found out to be very important.
Yeah. And then some of the goals that we set, or you may set, you got to make sure that they're attainable. What do I mean by that? You set these big goals, right?
Right.
And you sometimes have to break those down. You know, you can't, I don't know, some people may be able to eat a whole watermelon at one time, right?
Some people in one sitting?
In one sitting, yeah. Maybe, I don't know, but what do you do with a watermelon? You cut it into pieces. So you can enjoy it and eat it. You don't want to overeat it, overeat, but you
get sick.
You get sick. So, but the same thing with your business. You have to break those big goals down into small segments, you know. And
for people who are visual, vision boards are really good. Those have been around for a long time. I think I should try one.
I never tried that.
I have never done a vision board. Let's do a vision board. Because that helps people set goals for visual people. Right. Everybody doesn't need one, but I can be visual in certain things, so maybe I might need to set a visual board.
I am a visual person, but again, sometimes I don't know. I don't follow through with some of those things like a vision board. It sounds good.
But
now wonderful. I got to go cut out little magazines and find, stuff, go to Pinterest or whatever, paste them. I don't know how to, I've seen the steps, but
it might not be for you.
I mean, look. Check it out. There are millions of people ready right now to buy your product or service if only they knew you existed. So why aren't you advertising? Go to our website, thebossmove.com. You can be listed on a podcast. You can be listed on our network. You can be a boss like Hope.
Call the Boss Move Studios today.
That's it. It is up. Later.
Another way to stay focused, something I do, I love to say, hey Siri, take a note. Hey Siri, take a reminder.
Yes.
And that helps me to stay focused on my goals. I put reminders in my phone. I love Outlook. I put messages in Outlook every 30 days, every 2 days to remind me of different things, whether it's my goals or appointments. But it's a very good tool to use when you use Outlook to send you reminders and you think it's something to do and it's reminding you of your goal. It pops up tasks and the task says, keep going. You're almost there.
Right.
You've reached goal number 1. You can mark it off. So that's another tool to use. Vision boards, using Outlook messages, and definitely using your phone.
I have to be more intentional about that because I have notebooks. I have a lot of notebooks, and sometimes I start off writing. Yeah, I'm gonna write down what I'm planning on doing today and check them off as I go. So I start off good the first hour, second hour, by hour 3 or 4. I don't even know what that notebook is.
We're gonna have to do some more research.
I'm serious.
You know what?
I know what it is. It's just like I don't follow through with it.
That's what I'm saying. We need to do research on how to change the brain to continue to follow through.
Yeah.
Right? Because we do start these things and they go for a while. Then it's kind of like, maybe subconsciously to us it's not working, which is what we're about to talk about. Failures. We think we're failing because it's not coming as quickly as it should when we write down these goals, right? Because sometimes we think, I write this down, it should happen right away.
Yeah.
But it's not. Sometimes we're going to face failures because, as you said, we're not being consistent. We could face failures because we're afraid.
I think mine is more so lazy because every day I have a camera. I leave the house with a camera, right?
Of some kind,
of some sort. Not just my phone, but I say I'm going to vlog today. Get some content. Same thing. I'm good for first hour. I'm recording content, but hour 3 or 4, I forget the camera. I forget
Well, I mean, think about it. You're out there doing a lot of things. You're not just out there getting content. You have another business that you're running. So sometimes it's kind of hard to be in between. So I got to keep this camera out, which is why I know one day soon we're going to get a camera person who can just follow us around. So when we talk about the failure part of it, we have to change our perception of failure, right? I used to think that failure was the biggest thing to happen. Like, you'd be so embarrassed at yourself. You wonder what people thinking. Then I had to change my perspective, right? Because we started the apparel business almost 2 years ago. We jumped out. We were ready. The website was done. It was looking good. And it didn't do what we thought it should do.
Yeah,
I thought we failed.
No,
it wasn't failed. It was not. We weren't fully executed right.
Right. I don't think we failed at all. I know that was a new business to us. We both dived into it not knowing anything about it.
Correct.
So we got the equipment. We still have the equipment. So we're relaunching that business
because we did more research to learn what it takes and what it does. And when you change your perception, look at failure as not failing, it's a learning opportunity. Every time something doesn't go correct or the way you wanted to, don't say, oh my gosh, I messed up. Look at it as a learning curve. What can I learn from this? What can I change from this?
Nelson Mandela once said, you
win some and you learn some. Not lose some.
Yeah, you learn some. So that's what you have to look at it. Those failures or perceived failures as a lesson.
Right.
You know, one thing went through in the business, we talked about it a little bit, but when we opened the studio part, we had a person that was supposed to be in business
with us
on the studio side of it. A month or so passed by, they backed out of it. So to me, that was a setback. That was a failure. Not a failure because we
you
still
thought
had
so. You did. I remember we went through that. We were very upset.
Oh man. And then now I'm paying this entire studio, you know, we are by ourselves.
Right.
We also have to produce content and keep, you know,
we're doing every department.
Everything. So that it was only a setback to me for like maybe a week or so, but after a while we adjusted. We had to talk. We adjusted and set clear goals
because we analyzed what happened and we had to adapt. Right. So we sat down and we looked at, okay, what went wrong and what can we change? Because sometimes those things happen. You have to analyze and adapt to that situation. Or you sit there like this and you're upset and you're sad. No, what happened? What can I change? And how can I keep moving forward? Analyze and adapt. So we said, when you talk about failure, you change your perception. Everything isn't a failure. And now you analyze and you adapt to it.
Yeah. And it actually worked out better because we were able to operate more efficiently. Right.
Right.
The content started coming out. We were getting more engagements.
Right.
You know, so I looked at it at first as a perceived failure or setback, but it wasn't. It wasn't. It was a come up, actually.
It was, because now we see without the other person what more we can do and how it should be done, not based on when you have another partner, sometimes it's best for two people, and that's just from experience, right, Duane?
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't need a three-way split, and we thought that's what we needed in order to succeed, but we see how much further we've gone when in a partnership.
Yeah.
And lastly, when you talk about failure, stay focused and positive. Stay positive. Yeah. It's hard, right?
Oh yeah, it was hard because I'm telling you, I went to a place and but again, it was only momentarily. I was, you know, upset for a moment, but you find the positive parts of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even though there's, you know, I'm more responsible for, you know, financially now,
correct,
you know, than I had planned on. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Learn from that lesson.
Learn from it.
What was the lesson?
Going.
We learned it a lot.
We learned.
You know?
We learned to have extra reserve. We learned to have different processes and procedures in place in case something like this happens. Well, it won't. But now we know what to do,
exactly.
right? And when we stay positive, think about businesses. How many times you think Netflix failed or Starbucks failed, McDonald's, but did they stop?
No.
And look how big they are today. And that's what the Boss Move is doing. We had hurdles, we had some setbacks, but guess what? We're keep going. And we're going to be just as successful as Starbucks and McDonald's.
Yeah, we don't know the success rates of some of these early startups, you know, how, you know, unless we do some research. Some, like you said, we don't know what the struggle was for Jeff Bezos in his garage. You know, Amazon started as like a bookstore. Right. We don't know how he pivoted from that model to what it is today.
But we see what it is today.
Elon Musk, he owned PayPal, I believe. PayPal
in the beginning.
But you know, a pivot. You know, even though PayPal is successful, but he still pivoted from there to go on to create something even bigger.
And that's what we have to realize when we talk about failures. They're not failures. They're opportunities to pivot and redirect your business.
But you know what that does? It builds that resilience that we need. Right?
I love resilience.
Yeah, you have to be resilient.
Because if you're not, you're never going to succeed in anything in life, not just business. If you don't learn to be resilient in your daily life, you will fail in your daily life. And if you're failing in your daily life because you're afraid to be resilient, imagine what that's going to do to your business. So back to the t-shirt business, right? We stop, we pivot, we take some time, we're remodeling, we rebrand, and we're getting ready to come out, you guys. What a wonderful line. You're going to love it. But what we're saying in relation to what we're talking about today, the mindset, what if we was like, that's not for us?
Yeah.
I'm going to sell all these machines and forget about it. We didn't do that.
I remember one critical point was when we bought that DTF printer.
I hate that machine.
That and it's very expensive. I'm not talking about 1,000. I'm not talking about 2,000.
We're not talking about 5,000.
And I'm not talking about 5,000. But we purchased this to improve our business, right?
Yes.
It's funny now. I mean, the paper, the ink, everything,
and extra supplies,
and everything. So the learning curve for DTF is kind of steep, but we learned it, right?
Very
but
much
the
so.
machine maintenance, and anytime that thing go down, it's like a daily. It's a daily. It's
like taking care of a newborn.
It is.
It's like that DTF machine is like taking care of a newborn.
Yeah.
Every morning you got to pull not every morning. Anytime you're going to use it, if it's been sitting more than 5 hours,
you have to make sure the ink is all even, and some days it print like okay, we
just like that.
Rolling. Yeah.
And then some days it won't do anything. So when it regards to that, we're not using that anymore. We're trying to find a way to offload it. Just so y'all know, we're resilient in that way.
But that's what I'm saying. We have to. We didn't let that stop us.
No.
We had to stay resilient. So we pulled out the little silhouette machine and start weeding
and get back to weeding.
Or whatever. That's what you do.
That's what you do. You keep going. You see, that's resilience.
Yeah.
You go from a DTF machine and you go back to being using your hands.
Resilience is believing that you could make it through those hard times and you don't stop.
You never stop. You know how I like to say at the end of The Boss Ladies, we can do whatever we want as long as we keep moving forward.
Yep.
That's what resilience is. No matter what happens, how many times, the magnitude of it, keep going. This is the mindset we're sharing with you all today because it's something we're adjusting to as well and implementing. So I want to share something. All right. To keep me focused, every now and then I have to do hot cold showers, if you know what that means. So you turn it on cold for 30 seconds, you turn it on hot, right?
Yeah.
And I hate it. I hate it, but it's something that helps me redirect my mind not to be upset about how something feels in the moment. Because later I'm going to see the benefit of it.
Yep.
So with the hot cold showers, it's flu season. Make sure you do it. It helps and boost your immunity. But I'm sharing that to say I hate it, but it gives me a positive result.
Yeah, and that's important to challenge yourself to do something that brings you out of your comfort zone. Because if we don't, we'll kind of just be kind of stagnant.
Right.
Always thinking the same way, not really up for a challenge. And as business owners, you have to be ready for that challenge.
Right. And
every day.
Every day. And another thing I learned, because you just said being up for the challenge, right, is stepping out of my comfort zone. We can put as many posts and invitations and a call to action as you want on social media, but sometimes stepping out that comfort zone for me is making calls, calling the same women before and say, do you know any other women, calling different businesses. I have a podcast I would like to, highlight your business on. That's stepping out of the comfort zone, because sometimes as content creators, we think just putting it on social media is enough. And a lot of times it's not. We have to do those contact calls. We have to go and meet people. We have to, we have to keep those relationships going.
Yeah, because sometimes, I don't know, some people get some type of anxiety when you have to reach out to, certain people. That may be something that you fear or don't want to do. But when you dive right into it, it kind of goes away. It goes away because you're used to talking to people.
Right.
But in order for you to have that mental clarity, you must take care of yourself too.
Have
That's
to take
eating
care
right, going to sleep on time, which I'm struggling with sometimes.
You've been doing much better. I'm telling y'all, Duane will stay up working till 1, 2 in the morning and then get right back up at 5 o'clock like he wasn't just awake. I can't do that. Yeah, and let's be honest, we suffer. His health had suffered for a little bit, and it made him sit down, rest, and regroup. And he's doing so much better. And now you see even more content that you're able to do.
Yep. That's so true, because sleep is important.
It's very important.
To try to get it says 8 hours, 7 hours, or whatever. if you, I'm not saying if, you gotta find it.
Thank you.
You have to find that time, and also eat right. You know, drinking water,
exercising.
You know, that's one thing. To step out of that comfort zone. So we got a Peloton treadmill.
Yes,
right?
love it.
And normally when I do treadmills, I just do a workout, right?
Right.
But now I'm actually taking these classes.
Yes.
So I stepped out of the comfort zone, taking the classes, and challenged myself to do like these hikes because they have so many classes on there. So you know, one of the hikes, you know, you're at an incline of like 10. You know, you're going
like you're going up a mountain.
Like you're going up a mountain,
Ooh.
right? But you know, the reason I'm doing these challenges is for results, right?
There you go.
Because if I'm just at a steady flat incline, walking at 2 miles, 3 miles an hour, what is that? I mean, I'm just walking like I'm walking around the store.
You're not going to get the results you want.
Exactly. So
this episode of For the Record is brought to you by the Boss Move Studios, your content concierge.
What am I saying? You have to step outside your comfort zone and challenge yourself.
Yes.
Because in business, every day is challenging.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every single day.
Yeah.
And like you said, take care of your health. Exercise is important. What you watch is important.
Yep.
Whatever we're ingesting is very important. And we also know we need a support system. I'm going to just say shout out to Mama.
Yes.
Gina, shout out to Sister Mina, shout out to Nikki Hunter. There's just so many people in our circle, Lawson, that support us in ways that we need. And these people actually ask, okay, what are you trying to do with your YouTube page, Facebook? Right. How can we help you to grow? So you need a good support system.
Yeah,
it's very important.
Even if you had to find a mentor,
yeah,
you know, which I encourage you to do because those people have been where you're trying to go.
Yes.
Right. If you get the right one, if you know what I'm saying, for your business, get the right mentor that has done what you've done
and actually achieved in it,
and that actually
that they're
achieved.
Successful in it. And a lot of these so-called gurus we see, everybody's following them, but how do you measure their success? What's the name of your business?
Yes.
What do you do? You know, it's like sometimes I'm looking at these podcast people and they're telling you this is what you should do.
Yeah.
This is what you. How do I know what their success is?
Yeah. Well,
and then, until you can see it, I can't follow you. So getting a mentor is very, very important.
Even those master classes that we see online, there's nothing wrong with it. But again, you got to find the right
one
master class, or you just wasting money.
True. Oh, they cost money?
Oh yeah, they cost money. Some of them. This one guy, I'm not going to say his name, but he charged, I believe he said, $35,000 to spend a day with him.
Oh, you're talking about those people. I thought you're talking about local, like your Toastmasters meetings.
I am, but I'm saying make sure you're going to the right one.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Because people charge for useless information all the time.
Did you say $35,000 just to spend a day?
Spend a day with him. Yep, that's his offer.
If you got $35,000 to give to somebody to pick their brain, and that's what you choose to do instead of reinvesting your business, you shouldn't be a business owner. I'm not giving nobody no $35,000 just to spend a day. Are they gonna like give me the blueprint for the business? They're gonna rebrand and all of that?
I'm not sure what it consists of, but you know, that's what the price is. I'm not sure. I don't even think it's like an 8-hour day.
Oh, just a few hours.
Yeah, a few hours.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to find the right coach or master class.
And join these peer groups too. You know, you got Toastmasters and I don't know a name of all. We don't do those yet. Maybe we will, maybe we won't, but you can do those as well. Whatever works for you. Okay. So what did we talk about today?
A mindset.
Before
we go there, take breaks.
Definitely.
Take breaks, because you remember last week I came home and I just set my phone down.
Yes.
And I said, I don't want to see this phone.
At all.
Because I had got overwhelmed with the internet. Overwhelmed with it. Social media. The news that's on the internet. All of that. I mean, overwhelmed to where I just I needed a few hours away from my phone.
You can get burned out from that.
Yeah.
It can make you not want to do what you do anymore.
Yeah, think about it. Before the internet, right? When we got up in the morning, we may turn on the news or something, right? then we're out. We're going to school or work for those 8 hours, right? There was no.
You can't sit on your phone.
Yeah, there was no phone where you didn't see the news unless you know lunchtime. Let's see what's going on the news. Turn on the radio. Until you got home that evening, then you turn on the evening news. But now we have it in our face 24/7. 24/7. I mean, breaking news, dropping. I mean, so much content. Too
much content sometimes.
And I got overwhelmed. Because we're content creators, that does not mean you won't get overwhelmed from doing this.
Yeah, and you got it, like you said, taking breaks is don't quit, take breaks, right? It's very important so that your mind can settle. You can absorb what you're listening to on these different platforms, be able to get rid of what you don't need and keep what's important. Yes, take breaks. And taking breaks mean putting that phone down and don't go on social media for a few hours.
Yeah, I mean, you go down a rabbit hole real quick. On TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, really quick. They got reels now too to keep you engaged on that platform. Oh man, take a break.
So much when you're changing your mindset to be a successful business owner. Let's recap. So we want to set specific goals, right? We want to stay healthy. We want to have a good support system, and we want to look at failure differently, right? And be resilient in all things. That's what we talked about today. What else you got for us, honey?
Well, let's leave with some challenges, for the week. Today, this podcast dropped on a Monday.
Okay.
Right. So set some goals this week to achieve.
I got 3 things for him.
Set a big one too.
Yes. Set a big achievable goal. Take a big step, like we said earlier. Do something outside your comfort zone. Do intermittent fasting. Go for a run. Do something complete. Do a cold call and explain what your business is. And I mean, even if they hang up on you, do something different and think and adjust at the end of the week, like Duane did on this past Friday. He said, "Forget this. I don't need this phone right now." And you set and you thunk. Is that the word? You thunk.
I thunk on it.
And then and then you adjust it for the rest of the weekend, which brought us a lot more joy. We got a lot more done with content, planning and putting things in perspective. And that's important.
Even like yesterday, because we were supposed to shoot this podcast yesterday, but my mind wasn't ready for it yesterday. I woke up, I was like, I don't feel like it, but I'll go ahead and do it. But we ended up postponing it, which was better.
It is, because we were able to get our thoughts together, go over some more things, and realize that this podcast had so much to do with us personally, which is why we took the time over the last couple of weeks doing this research, because this is where we were. I've been coming to you saying, babe, something wrong with my brain. I feel stuck. I feel cloudy. And so this is the mission we went on, to clear our brain so that we can have the right mindset for a successful business. So those are your challenges this week. Find an achievable goal, push yourself out your comfort zone, and think and adjust at the end of the week. And write down some things that you learned that you're going to do next week.
That's it. And anything else you want to share? Because I mean, there's so much we could talk about.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna draw it out. As always, let's support each other more in 2024. But because of this topic, I want to say, look up the word resilience, and become that. Work on becoming resilient. Been through so many challenges in my life, physically, financially, so many. But one thing, and I'm not bragging on myself, but I've been told this, and especially by those who love me, especially my husband, I'm resilient. I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to stop. I don't care how long it takes, what it feels like, what it looks like. Keep going. Do not give up on your vision. Do not give up on your goal. This business is working and will continue to grow. That's what you tell yourself every day.
That's right. I'm Duane, and that's Hope. Thank you for watching this episode of For the Record. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will talk to you next time.
Later.
We in the zone, sharing knowledge, making moves. We a microphone. For the record, we got the facts. For the record, we run the tracks. We in the business, no time to play.
Thanks for
For the
watching,
record,
guys.
podcast all day.